never live for the future. Your youth, your teenage years, your childhood is your life. It's not like a tutorial. It's not a prequel to the real thing. And there's never a turning point from being a fucking loser teenager playing video games to being a hustler in the career, in the school, in the job, being a parent. Okay, there is no turning point unless you allow it. So you cannot live for the future. Once you start living for the future, that's when you procrastinate, because that shit's going to catch up to you, bro. When you're a teenager, when you're a child, when you're younger, time is slow. And when you grow older, time is fast. So everything that you've experienced has been a memory from your past self. So forget it. It's already done. Everything in the past is in stone. It's set in stone. You cannot change it. And everything in the future is to be determined. So if you're worrying, or if you're anxious, or whatever feeling you feel, it's either about something that has already happened, or it is about something that could happen. But you guys never pay attention to the present. The reason why people procrastinate and waste time is because they're waiting for that point in life where they change up their act. Instead, like I said, instead of being a loser playing video games, switching to the people who are working and making the money. There is no turning point unless you allow it. So you guys have to wake the fuck up. You need to gain consciousness on some real shit. You need to be conscious, because your youth is your life. You can die tomorrow. You do not know how long you have left to live. Do not waste your childhood. You cannot go back to how old you are right now, because in a minute from now, you're going to be a minute older. And every little thing you have ever done in your entire life ever has already happened and cannot be changed. And everything in the future cannot be guaranteed. Nobody is guaranteed for tomorrow. Tomorrow is guaranteed for nobody. You have to live in the present. You have to live in the present. Live in the present. There are a lot of people who are living their lives right now that regret not doing anything in their 20s. Maybe they're partying a little bit. Maybe they're, instant gratification, eating junk food, playing video games, not really preparing for the future. They were living in the present, but they were also relying on the future. Does that make sense? They're relying on their future self to pick up the fucking pace. The crazy part is, once people regret what they have done in their 20s, or maybe even their 30s, they could get fixed in their 40s. Life doesn't end at 25. Life doesn't end at 40. Life doesn't end at 60. You could live a long life. Life is the longest thing you could get to experience. You guys have to understand that every minute you waste cannot be given back to you. You have a set amount of time you get to experience your human years, and you don't know how long that time is. But what you can do is control what you do in your time right now. You could choose whether or not to focus on the present. People say all the time, live in the moment. Live for the present day. And you hear that shit tossed around like it's not the number one thing you need to be fucking realizing. People say that all the time. But it's like, that's it, bro. Live in the present moment, because that's your life. Your youth isn't a prequel to like another second life that you get where you drop all of the bad habits and start going on to that career and the money and the family. If I haven't already woken you up by this video, you need to find out a way to wake up yourself on some real shit. Because if you're not panicking right now, and if you're not regretting all the time wasted, and if you're just hearing me speak these words and you're not going to do nothing about it, then you're going to stay in this state of mind where you are relying on the future and you're not living in the present. But if this is making you wake up, then what the fuck are you going to do about it? You know the time you waste you can never get back. And you know that you should be living in the present. So are you still going to go back to the video games? Are you still going to go back to the bad habits? Because guys, when you're about to die, let's say you're in your deathbed, you're not going to be thinking about how much progress you made in your video games, bruh. Because the emotions you feel, if you feel any, are going to stay there. You can't get rid of them. You cannot get rid of your emotions. You cannot control that. But what you can control is what you do with them. So are you gonna fucking sit around and do nothing? You're gonna get the fuck up and get on that fucking grind. I'll catch y'all boys later.